Hello and welcome to Lane 4 podcast. Today we have our special guest, Daniel Wiffen, who's an incredible distance swimmer. He's an Olympian. He got a silver medal at the Commonwealth and is a European record holder for 1500. So, Daniel, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. So, we're going to start off with, we're going to go back to short course season last year. So,
Yeah.
you were absolutely flying last year. Like, it was incredible to watch you. So how did you prepare and were you expecting to swim that well? Because it was, as a young distance swimmer, it was incredible to watch.
I wasn't really sure how fast I was going to go. I obviously set goal times for the season, and we got the short course and long course times, and I wasn't fully rested or rested really. I probably had like a week of regen before the meet. Went to Scottish short course. I think some of you were there.
Yeah, I remember seeing you there.
Yeah. And we started off with I did a 400 IM for a bit of fun on the first day.
Yeah,
I broke the national record then. That was a kind of surprise. And I was like, from then on, I knew I was going to be fast. And then obviously we went on 14:14 or something like that in the 1500 at the Scottish meet, which was pretty incredible for me because one of my goals for my lifetime of swimming is going to be a top 10 time ever. And I did
yeah,
that in I think it was like 7th or something like that. And then the week after I went to Irish. So I'd say a little bit more rest because I had the racing to kind of give myself a bit of a freshen up. And I went the European record of 7:25. So
yeah.
pretty fun, yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, I remember watching you at Scottish going that incredible time. And it was back then, it was sort of like everyone knew who you were, but it was sort of like when you fully came into the limelight and it was incredible. Like,
Yeah.
it was amazing. So for you, what does a weekly training look like? Because you're training at Loughborough at the moment. So what does a weekly, schedule look like?
Yeah, so I'd say I'll go with Monday morning. I mean, we
Yeah,
do 10 sessions a week. If we're on camp, sometimes we do 11, 12, depends. But normal week, 10 sessions. We do some kind of outside land training. So we do gym on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Tuesday and Thursday we do a core session. And then we swim twice a day on Monday and majority of the week. And so I'd say we could be doing around 80 kilometers, something like that a week. I'd say that's around what we're doing. And Monday we start off. I wake up at 5:45, get training for 6:45, train for 2 hours till 8:45, gym at 9, and we probably gym for about an hour. Then I have a lecture on a Monday, so I go straight to that. Then I come back, have lunch, and then go to training for 6 till 8, which is normally a heart rate session or a
mm,
threshold session. And then it just carries on the rest of the week like that.
nice. So with training at Loughborough, do you train just with distance people? So do you have a completely separate set or is it all mixed?
Yeah, so we have a couple squads. So we have high performance and performance development, which is split into two. So high performance is you've got the distance and kind of mid distance. Say 400 is like mid distance.
Yeah.
And then we've got the sprint squad, which is anybody from 200 and below. And so I just train with a distance squad. So I think we've got, I don't actually can't remember how many we have now. We've got so many, maybe over 9 people who swim 1500. So it's amazing to be part of that, obviously. And I think
Yeah.
it's one of the main reasons why I've got so fast recently. It's just training with them. And then you've got the performance development squad, which is split the same way as distance, mid distance, and sprint.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it must be lovely to have like that community where you can all, push each other in training. So I think that's such a major thing. If you're just
Yeah.
alone in a training session, especially doing distance, it's not easy to just push yourself all the time.
Yeah, it's not. And I mean, if you're doing those long sessions, we have like a long aerobic on a Friday where we could do like 9K. And majority of the time, we could be doing like a 30-minute time. Well, not time swim. It's just like going white pace. So like
Yeah.
102 threes. But we just go like that and we just swim for 30 minutes. Andy will set a timer and blow the whistle. And to be honest, having a good amount of people around you then is pretty fun because I don't know, we could play games like how many times you can lap the person in your lane or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, I get
But
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Even just in sessions as well. I said we got like over 9 boys training who do 1500, and we're all racing each other as well. It's not like,
Yeah.
for example, I'm the fastest in the squad at the moment, and I wouldn't be winning every single rep. I mean, if we're doing hundreds at heart rate, like Tuesday, I've got this guy called Lucas Henvo, 400 free swimmer. He's really good for
Yeah.
Bell. He would be challenging me on the reps too. So it's not like I'm having it easy in the squad. So it's
Yeah.
quite fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a great environment. So obviously, when you get to your level, I think everyone has a view on how people are swimming. I think it obviously it's probably quite difficult because when you get to where you are, there's obviously everyone wants to say something about it. So last summer, or the summer we just had, you swam incredibly again. But what was your view on the overall performance this summer? Because I feel like everyone has said lots of different things. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah. I guess I was happy with it. Obviously my main summer meet was the World Championships, and I got 2 4th places. Going into it, I was aiming for the medals, and I was very close to the world record on PB going in, and I also was #1 ranked going into because Foreign Wellbrock didn't make the final. And so just from that, I was kind of expecting to be in the medals, and then to come out with 4th place in the fit. Well, we'll start with at the end of the meet with the 1500. It was kind of
Yeah.
disappointing. But to be honest, I have kind of forgotten about it now, and I'm just learning from that race. I've watched the race back twice, and I know exactly what I did wrong, and so it's all good. And then the
Yeah.
800, even though I came 4th in the 800. I'm very happy with it. I broke the European record long course, which people always are. I had so much criticism saying about how I could not convert from short course to long course,
Yeah.
and break the European record short course and then to do it long course. Just I think was just so nice, and it gave me a lot of confidence. And then obviously the 4th place wasn't the best, but I mean I PB'd, so it didn't really matter
That's the
to me.
main thing, isn't it? Yeah.
And then we went on to European under 23s, which I'm not gonna lie, was just a fun meet for me. I wasn't
You look
really
like you're enjoying it was the thing. I think watching you swim, you just looked a lot more relaxed and happier.
Yeah, there was no pressure at all. I kind of like knew in my head I was gonna win at least one race, so I was just like, I can just do whatever I want. I was more there to support a lot of the other Irish teammates. You know, we got a lot of junior swimmers on that team who were on the under 23 team, and it was in Dublin, so I was gonna just to, I mean, show my face for the crowd so they could see me swim
Mm.
fast at the pool. And funny enough, I went a time that I think would have got bronze at World Champs. It won the fifth. I went 14:35, so only 0.8 above my PB, and it was disappointment I
Yeah.
didn't go 2 weeks earlier at World Champs, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. I won there, and
Yeah.
I got my family saw the whole thing, so it was great, and it just gave me a big confidence boost going into the next season.
Yeah. I was going to say that. So going into start of the new season, you've obviously swam fantastic at Bucks already, getting 3 records for Bucks. How do you like motivate yourself at the start? So like pre-season, you're now like you're properly into the season. How are you motivating yourself to? Because I take you take the lessons from last summer, and that's helping you. But because like before you even started the training and Bucks has gone so well, how was that like? How was your what was your mental attitude before this season?
So I take 2 weeks off where I don't touch the pool, don't do anything with it, or don't do anything towards swimming, and then I come back and everybody in Loughborough joins back at the same time, so we're all in the same boat. And my look at this season was it's the Olympic season. So basically, everybody says this. So everybody goes, it's Olympic season. We need to do some extra to make it easier for the Olympics. So I kind of think that's a bit stupid. I think you should
Really?
just
Yeah.
like little changes are okay, but some people are like, we need to put everything into this year and we need to completely change everything we're doing, which I don't think sometimes a great idea. Saying that, I did do that last time, and I made the Tokyo Olympics because I changed programs to move to Loughborough from
Yeah.
Dublin. But yeah, I think this year we're just trying to build off the back of last year. We went to altitude before Bucks, and we actually only had 2 days in Bucks. Bucks was I'll go on to Bucks in a second. That was a
Yeah.
different. But, so start the season motivation. I probably go along with the lines with I'm like happy with the results I did in last season, but I need to kind of put them away because sometimes you can get contempt on what you're doing. And then by the time I start the season, I'm like, oh, I'm fourth in the world. I don't need to train that hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one of the good things is that, as I said, I keep going back to this group that we train with, that I hate losing. And I even hate losing more in training. And I even hate
Yeah.
losing to my brother, Nathan, who
I was
also
gonna
trains.
say that. Yeah.
So I can't, that alone just motivates me to train even faster because I just don't want to lose.
Yeah.
But and then to go on to Bucks, so we came off the back of altitude. It's my first time going to America. We're in Flagstaff. I vlogged the whole thing there, so people can have a look at that if they want to. But came
Yeah.
back two days of like, I want to say like regen. But the thing that I surprised me the most was I was really badly jet lagged. Like I would not sleep. I would go to bed at 10 p.m. and wake up at 12. I'd get 2 hours sleep in the evening and I'd be awake the whole time. And this is the same at Bucks. So I'd go to bed at 10. I'd wake up at 12. I'd then be awake the whole day until I swim in the evening. And
Yeah.
then I only get 2 hours sleep the whole weekend every night. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever got in my life. But we were so good at our recovery strategies that we practiced all the time throughout the year with my coach that it didn't really matter if I wasn't sleeping that well. It was just that what I was going to do in the pool was going to be how I recovered after it, and like in terms of what I eat, how much swim down I do, and stuff like that. And then I think that kind of was why Bucks went so well for me, because we had
Yeah.
practiced everything to go wrong and kind of had no sleep, so it wasn't that kind of just worked out in my favor. But yeah, it was pretty good. We won again. I think we've won like four. Well, the whole university has won like 44 or something years in a row. I haven't been there for that many, obviously, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've
It is
contributed a lot.
incredible.
Yeah, it is pretty cool to be part of, and I got swimmer of the meet there, so I got it last year and I got it this year, so I've got one more year left of doing Bucks after this, so I'd like to hopefully get it again, but we'll have
Get
to
the
see.
triple. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't think anybody's ever done that before. And then I also broke Robbie Rennick's 400 free record, which has been Andy targeted it ever since I started like racing for Loughborough, because it was probably the hardest to break because it was in a super suit. And I think it
Yeah.
was 341 and I went 339, so I was pretty happy. I knew as soon as I did the 1500 I was gonna break it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because the 1500 14:20 was my second fastest. Basically, every race that I did at that meet was my second fastest ever. So it was
Yeah.
kind of cool to know that heading into 2 weeks and got the European short course that it could go quite well.
Yeah. I can see that. America looked fantastic as well. I saw some of the videos you made. It looked really, really good. And so for that as well, does that relax you before a big meet, or did you think it just like, because altitude training is obviously incredible, and like, do you find it just gives you that extra bit of confidence?
Yeah, I think, well, altitude probably, I don't know. I've heard so many stats about, like, for me saying that I'm one of the best athletes who's ever, like, what do I say? I'm one of the, like, I get one of the biggest benefits you've ever seen for an athlete when I go to altitude. But it's not also like, so in altitude it's obviously about getting your red blood cell count up, so then
Yeah.
you can take more oxygen and stuff like that. But it's not only just that, it's also your training environment. So we go there for 3 weeks or 3 and a bit weeks, and it's like, not it's obviously hard to train, but it's also different, so it's more fun. So I can
Yeah.
go there and I can train way harder. It's like when we go warm weather training camps to Turkey, there's no real benefit to going to a warm weather training camp, but we just go there for a bit of change of scenery, so then you can freshen up a bit more. And yeah, altitude was really good. I had a lot of fun now, and we're going back in May, no, in March. For I think we're going for longer. We'll go for 4 weeks.
Okay,
So
nice.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So this year, obviously, you mentioned it's the Olympic year. So obviously, we said, you don't want to change anything big. I don't think that's a great idea, and you obviously agree with that. But how mentally so before Paris, have you thought about how you're going to prepare for it? Because obviously, you said you're going for altitude in March, and that's not miles away from it. So how are you, like this year, do you feel like there is that added pressure? Like, are you putting that on yourself, or are you trying to keep yourself nice and relaxed?
I mean, I probably put a lot of pressure on myself. I mean, I don't really care about what other people say a lot of the time. Like, maybe only Nathan is the one I really care about what he said.
Yeah,
In terms of like the pressure, I mean, all the pressure is self-inflicted. I will put it on myself, fine. I mean, I'm saying now, but I said this before, but like I think every time I compete, I want to do better than I did last time. So, I mean, at the Olympics, I got 14th, but now I've done 2 4th places at the World Champs. So, in my opinion, I need to better that and be in the medals. And but I mean, Olympics is still another bit away. So we got
yeah,
the
there's
European
time.
Championships, then the World Championships, and then I'll probably take a little break, and then I'll start the prep for the Olympics. But looking forward to Paris. It's going to be fun. Probably going to be very nervous. I remember how it was the first time at the Olympics, and it was one of the crazy experiences I've ever done in terms of nerves. I've never felt nerves like that, and I haven't felt them since. And I feel like they might come back up again. But as I say before, nerves just mean that you're going to swim fast. It's just
Yeah,
your body telling you that you're prepared to swim fast.
that's such a good mental attitude though, because that just flips it. Because so many people, when you have that nerves, you feel like it just means that something's not right. But maybe those nerves actually make you feel like you're going to
Yeah.
swim it well. So
I'll give you an example because
yeah,
we raced in Stockholm. This is when I went 14:34, and when I kind of like say kind of broke out. I made a name myself one of the best distance swimmers was when I was racing in Stockholm, and I was convinced that everybody was going to be there from Europe, but sadly the Germans didn't go. So I raced Romanchuk, who's obviously one of the best distance swimmers ever. He's got multiple
yeah,
Olympic, multiple European world medals. And I know that a lot of the time before I race these guys, a lot I was afraid of racing them because I always thought they're better than me and stuff like this. But I think this is why everything relates back to my group in Loughborough, kind of the way that they will inspire me also. And so, my one of my best friends, Asterios, who I train with, I shared a room with him in Stockholm. He was telling me how I could easily beat these guys. He's seen me train. Nobody works harder than me. And that's just given me more motivation to go into this race. And I'm going to tell you, like, before this 1500, when we were in the call room, I was shaking. I couldn't even put my goggles on. My hands were just shaking and I was like sweating. And I looked at him and I was just like, all right, we can go fast here. And the only way we're going to do it is if we forget about him. So I just
mm,
forgot about him. And to be honest, I body lamped him off the dive, which never happens. And I just continued building my lead at Stockholm. And then I touched the wall and I surprised myself at the time I went. That's the only
yeah.
time I ever surprised myself by the way of what time I've gone. Sometimes I can predict it, or
Yeah,
sometimes I dream it before I do it. And that time I just surprised myself. So it was kind of a good feeling.
that's great. Yeah. So for you, what do you prefer, short course or long course? Or are we going to see you in open water any day soon? Or is that a bit
Okay.
of a ridiculous?
No, no. I prefer long course. I think long course means a lot more in the swimming community, and I think
Yeah.
that makes it mean a lot more to me. I say it's. I don't want to say more credible,
Yeah, but
but
I feel
it
everyone
is.
knows long course more than short course is the thing.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think open water is definitely a possibility. I'm qualified for it for Paris, and it's after the pool. So in my opinion, I'm gonna do it there.
Yeah.
But I will see how the pool goes because if I win a couple medals in the pool, I might be like, all right, I'm done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we'll have to see.
Yeah. I get, yeah, because you don't want to, if it hasn't gone well, but I doubt it. I think it will go well for you. So hopefully we'll see you in the open water. So
Mhm.
you've been training at Loughborough and you seem like you're absolutely loving it. What's the hardest set you've done whilst you've been there? What's the absolutely brutal one? And have you repeated it or have you only done it once?
Hardest set. Oh, I did. I actually did it one the other day. Um, I've done so many different sets that I did like. It depends. Like the diff. I said the hardest set after I finished them, but then I look back and said they're actually not that hard. But I'll give you a set. One of the hard ones that I did kind of recent.
Yeah, yeah,
A month ago. We did so I had to go back to Ireland to do some talk or something like that. And I had to train with the open water group. And their group
yeah,
is kind of a bit further on than ours in terms of training because they didn't really take a break over the summer because they've got the Olympic qualifiers in February. So they've already started their heart rate work where we were still on our threshold. So we weren't kind of in that. boat at the moment, but I had to join in with them. And they started off with 500s off I think 5:45. Like
Yeah.
not meant to be fast, but it ends up being fast, just being there. And I think I was going 5:10s, just
Yeah.
straight to just touching and whatever. Then we did 10 200s off 2:10. Straight into that.
Yeah.
Then we straight after that we did 10 100s best average off. I think they started on 110, and
Yeah.
then they added 5 seconds every 3 reps or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, then we finished it off with 10 50s, like as best you can hold off 45. And that was all like no extra rest in between. It was just straight into them.
That sounds tiring even hearing that.
It was absolutely brutal. And
Yeah.
we don't really do as many meters as they would as well. So I was dead after the 500s. I was feeling it already, but I didn't really want to let them beat me.
Yeah.
Because like,
You're so competitive. There's no like.
I can keep it up. But it was to be honest, it went really well, and that's the hardest I've done so far this season, I think. Unless yeah, I also count kick sets as the hardest sessions because I hate kick.
I am the exact same. Any kick is hard for me. Like the smallest bit of kick, I'm like, that is a hard session.
Yeah.
So you're staying at Loughborough next year. Where are you? Do you know where you're going after that, or are you going to stay at Loughborough just because you'll finish your degree by then? I take it.
Yeah. After this year, I've got 1 more year left of my degree. I can see myself staying in Loughborough for the rest of my career, to be honest. I don't really see myself moving. I've got a really good relationship with Andy, and we obviously work really well together. And with the times that I'm going, but no, I think it's one of the best places to swim for distance swimmers, and I think it's also great because you get a lot of the freshers who come in. It's kind of like this year we had Tyler Melbourne Smith and Ruben Ribot and Keaton come in. And I mean, coming in, Tyler's PB is like 15:28 or something like that on the 1500, I think around that. And I was thinking, do you know what? This guy, he won't challenge me at the start. Maybe towards the end of the year, we'll see him. But first session in, he beats me on our sprint reps. He is very quick. And I'm like, all right, this is going to be challenging. And he's definitely so determined. I'm not sure if he'd listened to some of the stuff I said because he races every single rep, which is very fun. I like it when somebody does that. And yeah, I think that's why Loughborough is good because you get these new people in who you don't expect to be that. But then they just change your environment, just makes them go so much faster. And I think that's why I'll probably stay here for the rest of my career.
Yeah, it's just fresh competition, doesn't it? It keeps it fresh, keeps it new. It's nice.
Yeah.
So you spoke about your brother quite a lot, to be fair. So what has it been like competing with your brother? Because obviously, you know, you're quicker than him, but has it always been very close, or was there ever a time where, you know, Nathan was faster than you?
So me and Nathan never raced. We never raced each other when we were younger because my parents wouldn't let us. So Nathan was given backstroke and I was given freestyle, where we just raced those two. And basically until last year, Nathan was doing 200 back, I think. And then he decided to switch it up because distance swim was going so well for me that he decided, you know, I'm going to change it up. And he then was able to join my squad because he was fast. He got the gold time, and then ever since then he's been progressing basically the same way that I was progressing when I joined, except his is a larger jumps, which is not scary. So I love training with Nathan. He's amazing to race as well. I mean, a lot of the time at the moment we're not racing each other. We're just like in the same race because Nathan's not as quick and he'll get there in the end, but at the moment he's just working towards it and I'm just trying to help him as much as possible. Luckily for him, the exact same. So I've done everything wrong to make sure he doesn't have to do it wrong, basically. And also I can tell him exactly. And luckily, this is Nathan said this actually. I was listening into his room when he was on a call the other day, but he goes, "It's so much easier for me to know how fast I can go off training because Daniel knows already. Because I've done it. I know for 3100s best average, I know what you have to hold to go 14:30. the world record because I know what it's like, so I can just tell him exactly what he needs to do to go that fast. And in terms of the Olympics, he's going to qualify for the Olympics in May, and in my head, I already know he's going to make it, but it is down to
Yeah,
him on the day. It is on the day
yeah,
thing. But with the training he's doing at the moment, he's training way faster than I ever was when I joined Loughborough, and
yeah,
he's even like pushing me on as well. In training, sometimes you might even sneak a rep as well, and I think that's it's just going to be down to him to qualify for the Olympics.
yeah.
But racing him's very fun, and hopefully, or maybe not so. Hopefully, we'll be racing each other head to head at the Olympics.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be such a cool thing to see you both, racing in a final of the Olympics for even a
Yeah.
gold. That'd be incredible. That'd be amazing to watch. So, finishing up. So, do you have a motivational quote you live by? One like little mantra.
Uh,
It's a
maybe we
difficult
take
one.
maybe we take the nerves one.
Yeah, I
The
like
one
that. To be fair,
all nerves don't mean like just nerves are what the thing that your body produces to make you swim fast. That's what I say.
I like that. That's great. I like that a lot. Okay, well, Daniel, thank you so much. This has been
Yeah,
incredible. Do you want to say your YouTube stuff so anyone
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to go
All
over
my
there?
YouTube channels, Wiffen Twins, if anybody wants to go and watch. We're actually taking a break at the moment from vlogging because we've done so much and we're kind of a bit like I've got to focus on university work and then also
Yeah,
vlog, so it was kind of hard. But yeah, I actually have some questions for you, if that's okay.
yeah, go for it.
I've
Yeah,
actually never been to Mount Kelly, well, the swim team, and I just want to
yeah.
know what it's like and what year are you in, and have you got any thoughts of where you want to go to university and stuff like that?
So I'm in year 11, and
Okay.
so I've got a couple of years off, but I'm looking at Bath and Loughborough, the main unis I want to go to. Studying sports science and all of that. But Mount K is an incredible school. I've been here for a year now, and it's amazing. It's just like fantastic. It's just a place where it's all the future athletes that are just pushing each other. It's really really good. It's just a
Yeah.
very good environment.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck with swimmers who've come from there before. I know that. But and then I was gonna what competitions do you have next as
So
well?
we have English nationals coming up. So that's the next big one we're going to. And then obviously we've got all our summer meets that I've got to
Yeah.
qualify for. But luckily I qualified for English nationals last Scottish nationals.
Okay.
So it's been quite chill at the start of this year, thank goodness. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
perfect. So thank you so much. And yeah, if anyone else wants to find any more Lane 4 podcast information, go to @Lane 4 podcast.